out the amounts for the legislative transfers. So for the Phoenix AMA, the whole $693,000 will be utilized to purchase ICS firming credits from the Gila River Indian community. In the Tucson AMA, the monies will be utilized to purchase long-term storage credits. The CAWCD board also reserved 4-cent tax monies that could be used by the bank to purchase long-term storage credits. We're looking at $4 million in the Phoenix AMA and $6 million in the Tucson AMA. Now, while these monies have been reserved for long-term storage credits, in the event water does become available, these monies could also, the priority is always for water storage over long-term storage credit purchases. So all in all, we're looking at developing over 45,000 acre-feet of credits, combination of long-term storage credits and ICS firming credits. And the plan, the cost of the plan is just over $10.8 million. Next slide, please. See, so where does this plan bring us with regard to our goals? So in the Phoenix AMA, we've met the firming goal that was established back in the early 2000s, but that was based on hydrologic modeling back then. We are looking at that now to see what it would be, with the new operating criteria. In the Pinal AMA, we're also really close at 97%. And in the Tucson AMA, we're at 62%. But if we also utilize the withdrawal fee credits that have been accrued in that AMA, we're looking more at 73%. So for the water management, so see groundwater management, those are the withdrawal fee credits. These credits can be used for water management purposes. That includes firming for the settlement, Indian settlement, and it also includes M&I firming. So for the credits that are in the Phoenix and the Pinal AMA, more than likely those will be utilized to meet the settlement obligations that we have. In the Tucson AMA, because we are behind in the firming goal, the M&I firming goal, more than likely they will be used to meet the M&I firming goal for that AMA. For On River, those are general fund credits, and we haven't had any general funds in a while, so that's been at 96% for quite a while. And under Indian firming, with the Gila River Indian community, we're roughly at 49%. The 171,000 acre feet of credits that you see there is a combination of long-term storage credits that were accrued on reservation. It includes, that was roughly about 105,000 acre feet. It includes 44,000 acre feet of what we call firming credits, which was with the bank offset the water delivery cost, the full water delivery cost for water going on reservation that the GRIC had ordered. So it was their water, and we basically just offset their costs, both the energy and O&M costs. And then it includes also the ICS firming credits that we've accrued to date, plus what we anticipate accruing next year. So that's basically where we are now. I'll take any questions that you might have at this point in time.
Yes, Virginia, this is Stephen. About the credits accrued, is that since the beginning of time, that's the accrual?
Yes. Yeah. These are all the credits accrued.
And go ahead.
I was going to say it includes the credits accrued through water storage and long-term storage credits purchased, and any other type of firming credits that we accrued for Indian firming purposes. So
you feel pretty good about that our goals, we're meeting the goals of the amount of water that we want to reserve for future use?
So to answer that, these were goals that were, so the M&I firming goals were established a long time ago based under hydrologic conditions and operating conditions at that time. We'll be looking at, where we are now with the hydrology and, under the new operating system we have here for the DCP. For Indian firming, for the GRIC, for the Gila River Indian Community, the Indian Firming Study Commission estimated it would be 350,000 acre feet. They also estimated that the future settlements would be roughly 200,000 acre feet, so 550,000 acre feet in total. Those were just estimates based on the modeling at that point in time. Again, we're going to be looking at what are those numbers now. It's for Indian settlements, we have to meet the obligation, whatever it is. So it could be a lot higher, the number, or it could be less. We're showing the 171,000 acre feet of credits for the GRIC. Those are credits that are dedicated to meeting that obligation. We would need the credits, the withdrawal fee credits that you see there, the 251 in the Phoenix AMA and the 417 in the Canal AMA, to meet also the GRIC obligation, plus any future settlement obligations that we have. We have White Mountain Apache already, and we're just waiting for enforceability on that, and there's other ones coming. I think we'll need all of that and potentially more. So,
and when will this study be initiated and completed on what our future demands are going to be and how to meet them?
I think in the near term. We should have results in the near term.
Okay. David, any questions?
Mr. Chairman, no, I don't have any questions. I think the questions that I would have had, I think Virginia has provided enough information to cover my interests. So I think we're in good shape.
Okay, Stephen Bales.
Yeah, I have a rookie question, Mr. Chairman of Virginia.
Go ahead.
You use the term firming, and I'd like to understand better what you mean by that, Virginia.
Okay, so firming in the simplest forms, firming is basically the water bank is providing a backup supply for the amounts that are shorted. When we have shortages on the Colorado River and the full amounts are not there, the water bank has a responsibility to provide certain quantities to try to fill up that hole, the gap that's missing. And so it's not 100%. It's, for the Gila River Indian Community, we firm up to 15,000 acre feet of the non-Indian agricultural supply, but that's firmed up to M&I standards. For the M&I firming, we have a policy under DCP that says we will firm 100% of the shortage to the M&I subcontract. Historically, for planning purposes, we said that we would firm up to 20%. So it's basically filling the gap.
Very good. All right. That helps a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone in the audience that have a question for Virginia? Is there any chat questions received, Kyle?
No, sir, there were not.
Okay. Thank you very much, Virginia.
Okay, thank you. Always a pleasure.
So let's move on to agenda item number 5. Kyle is going to provide us the WMAP and the 2021 withdrawal fee updates.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At the last GUAC meeting, ANOV asked for your recommendation for 2021 withdrawal fee amounts. And at that time, the council recommended keeping the withdrawal fees at the same level that they are scheduled for the 2020 annual reporting year. And that was 50 cents an acre foot for admin and enforcement, $2.50 per acre foot as defined in statute, and 25 cents an acre foot towards the Water Management Assistance Program Fund. The director wanted me to thank you for your recommendations, takes your input very seriously, and decided to implement your request and recommendation for withdrawal fees for the 2021 annual reporting year. That's shown on your screen here, along with what all the other AMAs withdrawal fees will be. So next, I'll provide a brief update on the Phoenix AMA's WMAP fund. For the 2019 annual reporting year, we collected $190,473 into the WMAP fund. That, combined with previously collected funds, leaves a balance of $1,104,845. Now, from that, we do have $626,000 of encumbered funds, leaving $478,845 in available funds. And of that $478,845, you have recommended $189,000 in funding for the City of Phoenix Residential Water Use Study Phase 2 project. And we're waiting for some additional information on a potential funding contribution to that project before we present it to the director. But I anticipate that issue being resolved before our next meeting, at which point we'll have a solid dollar number for you there. Should that project be granted the full recommended amount, you'll have a remaining balance of $289,845. So there are currently 7 projects funded through WMAP funds, including Arizona Project WET, which you recommended funding at the last meeting. The breakdown of those projects by sector and category is shown on your screen here, sector on the far left, category in the middle, and an additional $32,355 of WMAP funds are going towards projects in the grant process you participated in earlier this year, which I'll discuss in more detail here in a few seconds. So as you're all aware, the legislature passed and the governor signed into law Senate Bill 1227 last year. Part of that legislation appropriated $2 million in funding for grants to support water conservation projects and was divided among the 5 AMAs on a per capita basis. The process to approve grants for the water conservation project was similar to the process currently utilized for monies within the WMAP fund. Those project proposals were presented to the GUACs for considerations, and the GUACs provided their recommendations for project funding to the director, who ultimately made the final decision regarding the expenditure of funds. So I just want to take a moment to thank you for the time and energy you all put into those recommendations and acknowledge the critical role you played in moving that project forward. I know it was a marathon of meetings there for a little bit, but we really do appreciate your work on that. Those $2 million are being tracked separately from the rest of the WMAP funds, and that's in order to allow the Governor's Water Augmentation, Innovation, and Conservation Council to report on the impacts and effectiveness of the selected projects as required by Executive Order 2019-02. So the Phoenix AMA, being the most populated, was allocated $1.245 million. And you received and reviewed 13 applications, and the projects that have been selected to receive funding are shown on your screen here. The 7 selected projects were funded a total amount of $1,277,355, with the remaining $32,355 to be paid with funds collected through withdrawal fees. And I just want to make a note that each project was asked to provide estimates for the annual impact of their project. And when we take those in sum, we'll conserve an estimated 3,625.3 acre feet per year, in addition to educating an estimated 60,880 individuals in the Phoenix AMA. We're currently in the process of writing each grant recipient's contract and look forward to sharing more information with you as each of these projects progress. We did bring information, if you're interested in seeing it, on what projects were funded from the other AMAs. But with that, I will open up for any questions you have.
Kyle, a question. How many acre feet is estimated to be saved by implementation of these projects?
3,625.3 each year.
Okay.
In the Phoenix AMA.
All right. Do you have any questions, Dave?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Kyle, is that 3,600 and I think you said 25, is that per year for how many years?
So we just asked in the project summaries for the annual contribution or annual conservation. There's not a final year on that. So it was, if we implement this project, we'll save this amount for, each year.
So are you saying that the 3,600 acre feet has an estimated benefit of 36,000 acre feet over a period of 10 years?
The term length of these projects is 5 years, so no project is longer than 5 years. The majority of these projects are between 2 and 5 years. So I would say that this number would probably go up to, if it's 3,000 per year, then could go between 12 and 15 acres.
Okay.
12 and 15,000 acre feet total.
Who's
And
speaking?
that's a number we can provide at the next meeting. That was Melissa Sykes, our WMAP coordinator.
Thank you, Melissa. Mr. Bales, any questions, comments?
I have a comment, Mr. Chairman. This is great information and reports, and especially as a new guy on here. And if I could ask Kyle, can I access these reports online? How could I look at this to study at a later time?
Yeah, so these projects are posted on our website. We'd be happy to send you a link as soon as this meeting is over.
Great. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, and Kennedy's also dropping it into the chat right now for anyone in the audience that's interested in accessing the information.
Perfect. Heather has a question. Can you answer that chat question?
The question is, could a cost of investment per expected annual feet saved be provided? We don't have a number like that at this time, but that's something that we're going to be able to develop as the projects continue throughout the years.
Thanks for the suggestion, Heather. Forward to the answer. Okay, Kyle, you want to move? Is there anything further in this agenda item?
There is not, Mr. Chair.
So are we ready to go into agenda item number 6? McKenna will provide an update on the management plan for the 4th management period and the 5th management period. McKenna?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman Cleveland and members of the council. My name is Maggie Martin, and I'm ready to start whenever you are, Kennedy. Thank you. My name is Maggie Martin. I'm a management plan specialist working at ADWR on the management plans team. And today I'll be providing status updates on the 4th and 5th management plans. I will start with the 4th management plans. Thank you. We did set a goal to complete the remaining 4th management plans by the end of 2020, and we are on track to reach that goal. We are concurrently working on the development of the 5th management plans and are continuing to move forward with both of these timelines. Next slide, please. The general process for the development of the 4th management plans are on top of this slide. The Phoenix AMA, as you know, completed this process in the spring of this year. The Santa Cruz AMA completed this process in October of this year, and we intend to adopt the Pinal AMA 4th management plan by the end of the year to remain on track for all conservation program requirements to go into effect on January 1st of 2023. Next slide, please. And we'll now update you on the 5th management plans. Next slide, please. Last year, we developed the management plans work groups, which is a public stakeholders process for the development of the 5th management plans. We are actively meeting with each of the sector subgroups to develop concepts for the 5th management plans. Once this process is complete at the end of the year or early next year, we plan on spending most of 2021 actually drafting the plans and then 2022 adopting the plans. with the goal for the plans to become effective in 2025. Next slide, please. The management plans work group, again, is our stakeholder process for the 5th management plans. We have been meeting regularly since the initial meeting in July of 2019. We started with assessing the existing conservation programs, and now we are updating the existing strategies and are developing new concepts. As a part of this developmental phase, we wanted to create one location for all of the information related to the strategies and concept proposals. So we created the 5th management plans concept webpage. Next slide, please. This page was introduced to this group in the September meeting, but I'll briefly say that the concepts on this page are organized by subgroups. We've included interactive dashboards, illustrations, and graphics, and summaries of the corresponding workgroup meetings, as well as comments from stakeholder community that we have received on concepts and proposals. We encourage you to visit this page and check it out if you have not done so yet. The link to this page is included here at the top of the slide. Next slide, please. I wanted to end with the management plan work groups meetings that we have coming up. We have a full work group meeting scheduled for December the 9th, and then a couple other subgroup meetings throughout November and December. The dates are also available on that web page there at the top of the slide. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention. My contact information is available on the slide here, and I'm happy to take any questions from the council.
Thank you, Maggie. Very good. Questions from council members? Dave?
Mr. Chair, I do not have any questions. Thank you, Maggie.
Steve?
Maggie, I looked away for a second on that one of those slides you're talking about, the working group meetings. Is there an ag subgroup meeting scheduled at this date?
We currently don't have an ag subgroup meeting scheduled for the remainder of the year. There is a ag subgroup meeting scheduled for mid-January, I believe. All of those meetings are available on our management plans work group website. The link is here on the page, but I'd be happy to send it to you after this meeting as well if you'd like.
Yes, I would like that. Thank you, Maggie.
I want to compliment the staff for all the hard work that goes into this, along with all the participants from the various groups that are helping to build these management plans. To some, it seems like, why does it take 5 years from now before the plans actually go into effect? But I'm sure that it's part of the bureaucracy and the process of and this puts everyone in a position as forewarning everybody before it happens. Was there a chat comment that needs to be responded to?
Thank you, Chairman Cleveland. It looks like Natalie Mast is mentioning that we are hoping to schedule an ag subgroup meeting by the end of the year, but we will keep you all posted on that. Should be published soon.
Very, very good. So at this juncture, we're ready to proceed to the call to the council. Steve and Dave, anything that you'd like to bring up at this time to have staff work on, prepare for the next meeting, etc.? Start with you, Dave.
Mr. Chairman, I do not have anything at the present time. I think there's been quite a bit of discussion in the Governor's Water Augmentation, Innovation, and Conservation Council in a couple of the subcommittees, one on the post-2025 AMA and the other, the Safe Yield Group, and perhaps in a future GUAC meeting, we could have the department talk a little bit about the topics that are being discussed in those and sort of whether or not the GUAC needs to weigh in on any of those particular discussions. So I just would bring that to your attention there, Mr. Chairman.
Excellent suggestions. Kyle, any comments on those?
No comment, Mr. Chair. We can definitely add those to the next meeting.
Okay. Stephen Bales, any other items that you would like to have brought forward on the next agenda or future agendas?
Mr. Chairman, I concur with Mr. Roberts. I think that was a great suggestion. You handled that. Also, Mr. Chairman, are there minutes available from, say, our previous meeting we held that I could go somewhere and look at that?
Kyle?
All the recordings from our last meeting are posted on our YouTube page, and I'll put a link in our chat before this meeting ends.
Great, great. So how do we do a call to the public? Is it through the chat process, Kyle?
Yeah, we can go through the chat, and if someone would like to speak up, they can just mention that there, and we can unmute them or get them available to speak.
So does the public have any comments, items that they'd like to see brought forward at future meetings? Staff, are you aware of any other things that need to be addressed in a short period of time? I also would ask staff, do we have a planned meeting in the next 90 days?
Sure, Mr. Chair, we can schedule that within the next 90 days. Beyond what we've discussed, I don't think we have anything that we need immediate GUAC action on.
Okay. Dave or Stephen, do you have any thoughts?
Mr. Chairman, I do not.
Same here, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Well, if there are no other objections at 10 minutes to the hour of 2 o'clock, this meeting stand adjourned. Any objections?
Nope. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you. You too. And Kyle,
Thank
when
you.
you get an opportunity, I'd like to have a conversation with you on the phone.
Yes, sir, I will give you a call here pretty quick over the next couple of days. We can schedule a time.
Sounds good. Okay, thanks staff, thanks to all the presentations, and look forward to continued success. Okay, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the council.